Back again, this overrated Portugal team. We are just going though. We are just going. 2-1 against Croatia, and we are going to meet Spain on Monday in the round of 16. We have done it. Ronaldo, Portugal, all for Diego Jota. We have done it. We have done it. This is what we are talking about. But look, I have to tell you guys the reality. You know me, I'm always about analyzing. But let me tell you, this game was a roller coaster. I sacrificed my sleep, but it was worth it. Roller coaster game. You know, 1 minute you are sad, the next minute you are happy. It was just crazy. Emotions were running wild. Let me tell you one thing, man. The first half, it was all Portugal. They dominated. They had more shots. They created chances. Croatia struggled in the first half. What I talked about was they moved the ball vertically. It was faster. Even Bruno Fernandes was making those runs into the half spaces. He had a shot on target. Everything was going well in the first half. Then in the second half, Portugal came to default Celtic. They came back to default Celtic, behaving like the way they did against Congo, against Colombia. And it was just embarrassing to see when a 40-year-old Luka Modric started dominating the midfield. You understand? I said it. They started playing all those back passes. They slowed the pace down. And then Luka Modric, Kovacic, they started playing. Before you know what happened, Croatia scored in that second half. And Perisic was the one that scored that goal. And it was just like, come on, what is going on? Around that 60-something minute, Portugal needed a goal. They kept, before you know what happened, one thing I have to say is that credit to Rafael Leo. For me, he's the man of the match. Yeah, the man of the match, they gave it to Ronaldo. But for me, Rafael Leo, for me, deserves to be the man of the match. Why? Because overall, I look at his game yesterday, he played, he balled. The AC Milan Rafael Leo of 3 seasons ago, whereby he was the best player of AC Milan, that guy showed up. Not this season that finished. That guy showed up. And I was like, yes, you are talented. Do it for yourself. There was one ball that he caught, he created for himself. I used to say this thing. I said that use Ronaldo as a decoy. This guy created for himself, blast that ball, hit the post. I was like, oh my god, this is what we're talking about. They started playing, they started reacting. Now, Martinez was angry because he saw as Modric dominate that midfield. So he changed the midfield. And upon changing that midfield, he lost total control because he removed Vitinha, he removed Bruno Fernandes. You know, even myself, I was angry. Those guys allowed Modric to start dominating. When he removed those guys now, he now brought in Bernardo Silva and it was only João Neves that was there. So it's only two central midfielders. And Croatia really dominated that midfield. You understand? He brought in Semedo, he brought in Conceição. Now, because he realized that he has made that mistake, this is our coach here, very overrated. Because he realized that he made that mistake, you know what he did? He couldn't, you can't, those people that you bring in, you can't remove them. You understand? So you also cannot change Rafael Leo because the guy is balling. So he has to remove Cristiano Ronaldo and bring in what a midfield number 6, a midfield 6, Ruben Neves, and then they were able to get back the midfield a little bit. So you had like 3 players in the midfield again, just crazy. But anyways, at the end of the day, you know, Ronaldo scored that crucial penalty, you know, to equalize 1-1. And look, man, he had to score the penalty because he had a chance that I remember he had a chance that he scored. And he was ruled out for offside. But the way he finished that ball, one touch. He just controlled one touch over the goalkeeper. But anyways, look, he scored that penalty. And if he had missed that penalty, I'm telling you, the media would have fried him. Because he had to score that penalty to equalize to be 1-1. He blasted the ball in the middle. To even have the Ronaldo mentality is too elite. But anyways, as he scored that penalty, we move on. Last minute, late in the game, Gonzalo Ramos, who they brought in earlier, was the one that scored that goal. Header, a cross from Rafael Leo, who has been playing well, whipping that cross, and then Gonzalo Ramos used his head. That is the Benfica Gonzalo Ramos. This is the reason why PSG signed you, and he turned up. Anyways, look, at the end of the day, the roller coaster was that Croatia scored. They equalized 2-2 last minute, but it was an offside. Now, the thing is that at the end of the day, people are going to say that that offside is not supposed to be offside because Renato Vega touched the ball that the Croatian people whipping that cross, so he touched the ball and that ball went to the guy that is in the offside position. Now the thing is that the reason why he was offside is not because normally it was not supposed to be offside, but he was offside because you know there's a sensor in the ball, you understand, and the rules is that if a defender is trying to clear the ball intentionally and he goes to the player that you think that is in the offside position, the player scores a goal. But if the defender is not trying to clear the ball unintentionally and he touches him, and that's what Ronaldo Vega did. Ronaldo Vega was even, you know, dodging. He was ducking. You understand? He was trying to bend down so that the ball doesn't touch him. But the ball still touched him and went to the guy that was offside, the Croatian player that is offside. At the end of the day, he was ruled out as an offside, you know, goal. Anyways, it is what it is. I'm so happy that Ronaldo, you know, Portugal, this is for Diego Jota, and you can see clearly that it was in memory of him. They are all playing, and that is it. Let the spirit of Diego Jota guide you people through all the tribulations. Look, let me tell you something. What used to make a story, or what used to make this thing sweet is that look at where Portugal will have to go through. Look at the path they will have to go through. If they go all the way to the final and win it, it's going to be one of the greatest runs ever in the World Cup, and also it's going to be a very nice story. This is what we are talking about. It is what it is. Till I catch you on the next one, man. See you guys later. Soon.